There's something you need to understand. Life doesn't just happen to you. Life responds to the choices you make. Every single day, from the moment you open your eyes, you're faced with decisions, some big, some small. But together, they shape your path. They define who you become. You can choose to stay in bed and sleep a little longer, or you can choose to get up and chase your dreams. You can choose to give in when life gets hard, or you can choose to push through, even when it hurts. Every choice either brings you closer to the life you want or pushes you further away. Most people don't realize how powerful their choices are. They go through the motions, hoping things will change, waiting for luck to strike or someone to show up and save them. But life doesn't reward hope without action. Life rewards effort. Life rewards decisions. And the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dreams. No one will force you to grow or push you to be better. That's your job. That's your responsibility. The power is in your hands. It always has been. You have a choice to let the world shape you or to take control and shape your own world. You can follow the crowd, do what everyone else is doing, play it safe, and hope it works out. Or you can stand up, break free, and choose to lead your own life, your own way. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, you'll face pain, setbacks, and doubt. But those moments, that's where the growth happens. That's where strength is built. You don't get stronger by taking the easy path. You grow when you face the hard things, when you fall and get back up, when you keep going even when everything inside you is screaming to stop. You see, comfort is the enemy of growth. Every time you choose comfort, you're choosing to stay the same. But every time you choose discomfort, challenge, and effort, you're choosing to rise. You're choosing to get better. And that's what separates the average from the unstoppable. People say they want success. They say they want a better life. But when it's time to make tough choices, they hesitate. They choose distraction over focus. They choose fear over faith. They choose excuses over action. And that's why they stay stuck. But not you, not anymore. You know now that your future isn't written in the stars. It's written by your choices. And no matter what your past looks like, your next decision can change everything. It's not about what you didn't do yesterday. It's about what you choose to do today. Right now, in this moment. Because this moment is all you've got. You can't go back. You can't fast forward. But you can choose. And that choice, that's where your power lives. So what will you choose? Will you choose to keep waiting, hoping, wishing for something to happen? Or will you choose to stand up, take the first step, and make it happen? Will you choose to listen to your fears? Or will you choose to listen to that small voice inside you, the one that believes in something more, something greater? Will you keep living the same day over and over? Or will you choose to break the pattern and create something different, something real? Because let's be clear, you weren't born to just exist. You weren't put here to repeat the same routines, to stay stuck in the same cycle. You were meant to live, to grow, to become more, to make an impact. But none of that will happen unless you choose it. People will doubt you. People will tell you to slow down, to be realistic, to wait for the right time. But that's just noise. That's just fear talking through someone else's voice. The right time is not coming. The right moment is not out there waiting for you. The right time is now. The right moment is the one you decide to act in. This one, right here, right now. It all begins with a choice. A choice to stop waiting. A choice to believe in yourself. A choice to get uncomfortable. A choice to grow. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start. Start where you are with what you have. And do what you can, because action builds momentum. And momentum changes everything. So stop waiting for a sign. This is your sign. Stop waiting for permission. Give it to yourself. Stop following the crowd. Lead your own way. You have everything inside of you to build the life you want. It starts with a choice. And every time you feel stuck, lost, or unsure, remember this. Life is all about choices. You've heard it before. You are where you are because of the choices you've made. And that might be hard to accept. It's easier to blame others, to point fingers, to say, if only this had happened differently, or if only they had supported me. But none of that changes anything. None of that moves you forward. Owning your choices means owning your power. And yes, that also means owning your mistakes. But don't fear your mistakes. They're not your enemy. They are your greatest teachers. Every wrong turn you've taken, every time you've fallen, every time something didn't go your way, it was preparing you for something better. But you won't see that unless you choose to. You won't learn the lesson unless you decide to stop playing the victim and start owning your story. You can't change what's behind you, but you can absolutely change what's ahead of you. The past is done, but the future is still being written, and you're holding the pen. So, how do you want your story to go? How do you want to be remembered? As someone who made excuses, or someone who made a way? This life doesn't give handouts. It gives opportunities, and it's up to you to take them. You won't always feel ready. You won't always feel strong. But that's not what matters. What matters is what you do in spite of that. It's in those moments, when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when it feels like no one's watching, that the real change happens. That's where character is built. That's where discipline is formed. That's where your future begins. Because while others are sleeping in, you're choosing to rise. While others are distracted, you're choosing to focus. While others are afraid, you're choosing courage. Every time you choose to show up when it's hard, that's growth. Every time you push a little further when you feel like stopping, that's progress. Every time you keep going when no one claps for you, that's power. But remember, this journey is yours. No one else is supposed to understand it. No one else has to walk it. People might doubt you. Some might leave you. But that's okay. Because not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Greatness is a lonely road sometimes. But that's the price. That's the trade-off. You don't get to be your best self by doing what's easy. You don't get to create a legendary life by staying comfortable. You get there by choosing what matters more. Your future or your fear. Your purpose or your comfort. Your potential or your past. It's not one big choice that changes everything. It's the little ones. The decision to wake up earlier. The decision to practice longer. The decision to say no to things that don't align with your vision. These tiny moments stack up. They build a foundation. And one day, you'll look back and realize that's what made the difference. So choose wisely. Not just once, but every single day. When you're tired, when you're discouraged, when no one is clapping for you. Because how you choose to show up in those moments determines how far you'll go. You won't feel motivated every day, and you don't need to. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings come and go. What you need is discipline. What you need is consistency. What you need is the daily choice to do the work, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because something is happening. Every rep, every hour, every sacrifice. It's shaping you. It's building you. It's preparing you for the moment everything finally clicks. And when it does, it'll all make sense. You'll realize the pain had a purpose. The delay had a lesson. The silence was shaping your voice. You'll see how every step, every choice, every single "I won't quit" led you here. To this version of you, the one who didn't give up, the one who didn't settle, the one who made the hard choices and created a life worth living. And it all started with a decision, because life is all about choices. And now that you know it starts with decision, the question becomes simple. What will you do with that power? Will you keep living the way you've always lived? Or will you make a change? Will you keep making the same excuses? Or will you finally step up? Will you stay in the same place? Or will you start moving towards something greater? Because every day you wake up, you have a choice. You can choose to stay stuck in fear, doubt, and regret. Or you can choose to rise, to fight, and to grow. No one said it would be easy. But let's be honest. Staying stuck isn't easy either. Regret is heavy. Living a life that doesn't excite you is exhausting. Watching others grow while you stay the same, that hurts too. So don't just choose the path of least resistance. Choose the path that leads to something better, something bigger, something meaningful. Success isn't some mysterious thing only a few people find. It's a result. It's the result of the choices you make every single day. When you choose to show up, when you choose to keep going, when you choose not to give up, that's what builds success. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented, but you do have to be consistent. You do have to keep choosing growth over and over again, even when it's slow, even when it's lonely, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Because something is changing. You're changing from the inside out. You're becoming stronger, more focused, more determined. And one day, the outside world will finally catch up to the work you've been doing in silence. That's what makes it so powerful. That's what makes it worth it. People may not see your effort now. They may not understand your choices. They may question why you're sacrificing comfort, free time, and temporary pleasures. But you're not living for their approval. You're living for your purpose, for your future, for the person you know you can become. And that kind of life, it's built, not handed to you. So when it gets tough, and it will get tough, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself that every struggle is part of climb. Remind yourself that nothing meaningful comes without effort, without sacrifice, without heart. You're not just working toward a goal. You're becoming the kind of person who can handle that goal. That's what this journey is about. It's not about doing one big thing. It's about doing the small things over and over until they become who you are. So when your alarm goes off and everything in you says, stay in bed, you choose to rise. When you feel tired, defeated, like it's never gonna work, you choose to keep going. When you fail, and you will, you choose to stand up, brush off the dust, and try again. Because every time you choose to push forward when it's hard, that's another step toward the life you want. That's another piece of your future being built. Don't wait for someone to come and tell you you're capable. Don't wait for a perfect moment. Don't wait for stars to align. Make the moment right. Take the step. Decide that today is the day. That you are the one. That now is the time. People will talk. People will doubt. But let them. That's not your problem. Your job isn't to please them. Your job is to live a life you're proud of. A life that reflects your values, your vision, your potential. And that life is shaped by your choices. The choice to believe in yourself. The choice to act even when you're scared. The choice to try even if you might fail. The choice to keep showing up even when no one claps. It's never about luck. It's never about having the perfect plan. It's about deciding who you want to be and making choices that match that vision. Every day, life gives you a chance to grow, a chance to learn, a chance to be better than you were yesterday. Don't waste those chances. They may seem small now, one workout, one chapter read, one extra hour of practice, but they add up one brick at a time, one choice at a time, until one day you look up and you've built something strong, something real, something that can't be taken away, because you earned it. And you'll know deep in your soul that it all started with a choice, because life is all about choices. Take a breath. After everything you've heard, everything you've faced, stop for just a second and really think about where you are right now. Think about the life you've lived so far. Think about all the moments, the memories, the lessons, the struggles that brought you here. Some things you're proud of, others maybe not so much. But here's the truth. Everything you've been through has shaped you. You're not starting from zero. You're starting from experience. And from here, this very moment, you get to decide what happens next. Not yesterday, not 5 years ago, not the version of you who doubted, who failed, who hesitated. You, right now, that's the power most people forget they have. They think life is something that happens to them. But it's not. It's something that responds to what they do, what they choose. We don't get to control everything. Life throws curveballs, illness, loss, disappointment, betrayal. And no, you didn't choose those things. But you do choose how you respond. You choose whether you stay in the pain or use it as fuel, whether you let it define you or strengthen you, whether you carry it forever or rise with it in your hands. That's where your power lives, not in a perfect past, but in your present courage. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who simply refuse to stop. They don't always feel brave. They don't always feel like warriors, but they keep showing up quietly, steadily, choosing again and again not to give in. That's strength. That's what it means to take control. We live in a world that tells us to chase quick wins, fast money, instant results. But the most valuable things in life aren't rushed. A strong body, a peaceful mind, a meaningful purpose, deep love, real growth. They all take time. They all take intention. They all require choice. And in those quiet hours, when no one's watching, that's when those choices count the most. When your head is down, when you're tired, when doubt creeps in, that's where the gap is closed. That's where futures are shaped. Not with noise, not with applause, but with commitment, with quiet consistency, with choosing to stay in the process when nothing seems to be happening. Because something is happening inside you. You're building resilience, patience, mental clarity, grit. You're becoming the person who no longer runs from struggle, but steps into it, knowing you'll come out stronger on the other side. And yes, it's hard. Sometimes it feels like no one understands the weight you carry. Sometimes you look around and wonder why others seem to have it easier, but comparison steals your power. This isn't their journey. It's yours. You don't have to move fast. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep moving, one step at a time, one choice at a time. Maybe your life doesn't look the way you hoped it would. Not yet. Maybe you're still climbing, still falling and getting back up. That's okay. Some people wait a lifetime for things to be perfect before they start. But you already have what it takes. Not because life is easy, but because you're willing to rise when it's hard. And when people ask you later how you did it, how you built something real, how you kept going when most people stopped, you look back and realize it wasn't one big moment. It wasn't a perfect plan. It was 1,000 small decisions. The decision to get up when it was easier to stay down. The decision to focus when distractions were everywhere. The decision to love yourself enough to try again. Not flashy, not loud, but real. You chose to take ownership, to build your life. And that choice, it changed everything. So no, this isn't just motivation. It's not just hype. It's not about shouting louder than your doubts. It's about remembering the quiet truth that every day, in every moment, you are shaping your future with the choices you make. Not one of us escapes this life without pain, but we do get to choose whether that pain becomes our prison or our power. You have something deep inside you, a fire, a hunger, a knowing that you were meant for more than comfort, more than existing. You were meant to live a life that feels true, one where you wake up knowing you're moving forward, even if the steps are small, even if no one sees them, even if it takes time. That life, your life, doesn't just appear. It's built, and it starts right here, right now. So what will you choose? Not tomorrow, not next year, not when things feel right. Now, because this is your moment. This is your chance. Not to be perfect, but to be brave, to be honest, to be fully alive. And if you take it, if you commit to it, there's no limit to what you can create. The road ahead might not get easier, but you'll get stronger, clearer, more grounded, more alive. And one day, when you look back at everything you built, everything you've overcome, you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you made it happen, one decision at a time. Because in the end, that's what life is. Not luck, not fate, not chance, just choices. And you're ready to choose.